Devs listened. Yeah, I don't think so. So, for a quick TLDR, the Black Beacon community, also known as the BBC, were pretty outraged, especially the global side, considering that China got disproportional amount of rewards for the global, and it was actually pretty bad. Like, China got like a limited 5-star selector and 20 limited pulls, and global got nothing. So, yeah, that's a pretty big yikes. However, the official Twitter account went ahead and tweeted something out finally addressing this, and we're just going to go over this right now. Dear Seers, we want to begin with a sincere acknowledgement. Your voices have been heard, and we are taking your feedback very seriously. However, in all honesty, it's a day late and a buck short, and we'll go over that in the end. Following the launch of the Black Beacon in China in April 28th, we received strong feedback for our global community in regards to different conversations between regions, and we understand your frustration and deeply regret the confusion and concern this has caused. Black Beacon is developed by Mingjun Studio and published separately across different regions, Glowhow for the global service and Ten City for China. Due to this structure, each region addressed its launch independently. While circumstances and responses may have differed, we recognize the significant rewards issued during China's server launch caused many global players to feel a relative deprivation and disappointment. This was never our intention, and we take these concerns very seriously. We want to make this clear. This is not an attempt to shift responsibility, but to offer context, and more importantly, is a moment to learn and do better. So I will give credit where credit is due, and I do appreciate them acknowledging, hey, we aren't just going to be shifting the blame to our manager. We're just going to be we're going to tackle it head on. We effed up, and we're just trying to add some clarity. So you know what? +1 for that. I'll give him that. Having said that, all three parties, Mingjun Studio, Glowho, and Ten City, have always been pretty bad with the Chinese pronunciation, so feel free to make fun of me in the comments, have discussed this matter thoroughly and reached shared agreement on the following points. Global compensation, alignment, and unification rewards across all regions. We have conducted a review of all reviews distributed on both global and China servers on May 5th of this time, right here. And any discrepancies will be corrected. Moving forward, all servers will follow a unified global compensation plan to ensure fairness regardless of server regions. For the global server compensation, 20 time-seeking keys, which I believe are 20 limited pulls. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Spherical fruits, medium ×2. Gift certifications, medium ×4. And then a 5-star selection banner, which is honestly pretty neat. So finally, now everybody's getting properly compensated. But there's even more, which I'm glad they did this. Gratitude reward. As a gesture of your sincere appreciation for your continued patience and support, all players across regions will receive an additional reward on top of the compensation. So 5 more lost keys, 5 time-seeking keys, which is the limited pulls, and then this is claimable from now until all the way until the end of the month, so May 30th. But you have to complete the main story 1-4 so you can lock the mailbox. So I believe that's like 15, maybe 20-ish minutes of gameplay. Then there's a little bit more going here. This is basically referring to coordination, saying how all the studios have agreed to share communication protocols across publishing partners to prevent similar misalignments in the future. Good, learn from your mistakes. Faster response time and communications is also something that was actually heavily criticized. We recognize that our initial response took too long. To address this, we are establishing a dedicated team focused on improving the speed and clarity of official updates looking forward. We sincerely appreciate your continued support and love for Black Beacon. We know the situation has shaken trust, and we don't take that lightly. Trust is not restored through words alone, but through consistent action. Good. We are committed to transparency, cross-region fairness, and created more unified experience for seers across the world. Thank you for holding us accountable. Mingjun Studio, Ten City, and Glowho. Alright, so what do I think about the situation? It's kind of like I said earlier, it's a day late and a buck short. Because honestly, they already lost a lot of goodwill just from the launch. Because it was already such a buggy mess. You couldn't use your Google login. I tried for like almost an hour. It was like nonsense. And I thought it was just on my end, but it happened to everybody. So that was pretty bad. There was no PC client. That's another one. So they already isolated a massive portion of their audience. And then another thing to consider, honestly, the game itself just wasn't really of high quality. Hey, I'll say it. And there's already like a lot of people dunking on it. Like, I think someone posted a picture of like a like review, and it showed like Black Beacon at like a 1.8 out of 5, which is horrendous. And then there's this one right here, which I wanted to highlight because it really made me laugh right here. It's like, hey yo, Grog, try to summarize this, but make it sound like an anime girl trying to guilt trip you. Oh no, senpai, how could they do this to us, Sniffles? Black Beacon gave the China server way better rewards like a free 5-star selector and 30 polls, while global players got so much less. Can you believe it? And then it's like, pouts, but some players think it's not enough, and now they don't trust them anymore. They promised to be fair in the future, but I'm so sad. Don't you feel bad for us too, senpai? Teary-eyed. Like, what, dude? AI has gone too far, man. Like, I'm so done. But as far as my thoughts, it's kind of tragic because you can tell that the devs themselves, they do care, and it did seem like it was a pretty big F up on their part. Like, they didn't want to only compensate China. Maybe I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe this is just a COD act, and they're trying to rectify the situation with damage control. However, you can't really be doing this. Hoyoverse can kind of get away with this because they're already like they're the top dogs. You know, they've gotten away with it on Genshin. They're getting away with the HSR, and mark my words, they're gonna do it again with ZZZ. History is just gonna repeat itself. But when you don't really have an established audience, you can't really just give them the middle finger like that. And maybe they weren't trying to, but this is such a catastrophic like mistake that they like. I don't see Black Beacon recovering from this, and it's a shame because I really like the characters too. Because there's one character in particular who reminds me of Mori Calliope, and she looks pretty awesome. Like, she has a scythe, and she's honestly really cute. And then Zero, the main character, is honestly like probably one of my favorite designs in like an anime girl. She has white hair, yellow eyes. She even wears black stockings, and honestly, she's pretty hot. But yeah, and she even has Zero in her name. Like, come on. Like, that character was basically meant for me. So it kind of hurt that I wanted to like this game. I really did, but this game needed at least another year in the oven. It was just a rush launch, and it sucks. It really does suck. But yeah, that's gonna kind of do it. But if you want to stay up to date with Black Beacon, maybe they make a follow-up on this. They would have to do something kind of crazy, honestly. But subscribe for more, because I go over gacha news, whether it's, you know, Wuthering Waves, Black Beacon. I kind of want to cover it all. So I'll see you guys next time. Later.